Hello, everyone from UR. I am Shiro, and welcome to the second episode of Overcast. I am here with the owner, Lank, and I'm here with Dallas Andrew. Uh, what's up, guys? Okay. All right, and we're gonna just start off with the Emerald teams. The first week, um, and the first two matches were Dallas and versus KCC or Kansas City, and the other match was War versus Lag. I guess we could start off with the Dallas Kansas City game. That was a 3-0 for Dallas. Um, like you watched it. What was your? Oh. Mm-hmm. Well, he actually played it, so we got to get some analysis by him. I'm trying to get you up. It's probably my bad. I have you guys all the way up on Discord. Yes, it's almost all the way up. Wait. Hmm. I'm trying. It literally says, yeah, and it's been fine. A couple hiccups, but huh. I have the I don't know, man. I have you guys all the way up in OBS and in Discord. Screen share. Hmm. What's up? Here. It's been the exact same. Or am I on the wrong screen? I don't know how. Yes, sir. Okay. It's the same. Yeah. It's got streamer mode. There you go. It's on default, but it's the same.
Okay, there we go. You had to change it on.
Yeah,
Discord.
fixed it.
It's working
Yeah.
now.
It's better now.
There we
Yeah,
go.
it's actually working.
All right, let me know if it's too loud now because I have you guys all the way up.
Okay,
All right, where were we? Where were we? Andrew was talking about his fantastic diva skills.
Yes.
Yeah, so I went on like my comfort pick of Diva for the Oasis, and we can just kind of had a game plan of doing what we usually do, trying to keep distance from the Zarya when they picked it. So I just kind of stepped back, and once we got like a first pick, we just kind of just go in and dive. So
Do have
the
to
game plan
ask,
worked pretty well.
did Panda play Junkrat any time?
I don't think he did.
Okay.
Surprisingly,
I'm
I think
I'm
he was
proud of the
mentioning.
win.
I don't think he did. Yeah,
I'm
he was
proud of the win.
on. He was on Bastion for Oasis games, and then I think he went to May for the second game.
What was
on Kingsborough?
what was your other DPS on? We're talking about
They're
meta
on
stuff.
Soldier. They're on Soldier and Hanzo. Hanzo for Oasis.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, getting a good little mix of damage and
Yeah. They also swapped the Bastion on when Panda went to May for King's Row. He went to Bastion.
okay. Were you playing Devo on Kings Row as well, or did you try to
No.
go around?
So King's Row, I got a little bit of inspiration from John Pork from watching. I was actually the streamer for the Houston versus Philadelphia match, and I saw the shenanigans of John Pork going crazy with all of his Reinhardt plays. So I kind of took something out of his book for the attack side of King's Row, and I try to repeat it. Did not fan out too well for me, but I got style points, so
Yeah. Always go for
it was a
style
thought.
points, especially when you already 3-0. You're gonna 3-0. It's like I just anything extra you can get is good.
Yeah.
I do remember
like,
Pandit playing a lot of Bastion last season, so I thought
he
he would be
did-
playing
yeah.
a lot of Bastion again, but
Yeah,
especially with just how
he's
strong
pretty
he
good
is.
with the
yeah,
Ash.
yeah,
Yeah.
can't go wrong with Bastion.
But honestly, it seemed relatively easy from you guys, and it also looked like KCC was very, very disheartened after the end of the game, which might have been our fault
I
for
did
ranking
feel
them number one.
I did feel a little bad seeing the chat after the fact because like they're kind of doom posting a little too much.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad, I think.
I mean, both teams that lost in Emerald were absolutely doom posting. I was like, "This is week one, guys."
I know.
Yeah, and
It's
also
not
to
over.
Be fair, like a very to be fair, 4 out of the 5 of us played last season together, and then 3 out of the 5 of us played on season 1. Me, Panda, and
Yeah.
Biscuit have been with each other the entire time, and
And
we've
also,
gotten
like,
used to each other pretty well.
it's a 5-week season where 4 out of the 5 teams make playoffs. Like,
Yeah,
most likely you need one win to get
Mhm.
in.
You just need to beat
So-
the team that is in last.
I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't believe KCC is like at all like done for the season. They got a lot of
Oh,
time
I don't disagree
to,
either.
to like completely come back.
We can also talk about when we're doing power rankings of the roster moves they made after. But
Yeah. Let's move on
Oh, there's
to
roster
the
changes?
other game. The Washington versus Los Angeles.
and I can talk about that game
yeah,
because
go ahead.
I was streaming it, and Washington absolutely surprised me. Because we all put them last. We all were like very, very doom and gloom on them. They've been playing the game. And with their coordination of just being a friend group for years at this point, their coordination is off the charts. Like, honestly, their coordination was better than some Ruby teams I've watched. Like,
Mhm.
they were making plays left and right. They used Sombra correctly, which I've never seen in Emerald. I've actually not really seen it in Ruby, barring Choco Man. So the fact that they were to pull it off and like they full held on King's Row, like they did swept Suravasa, they swept Oasis, like they really just looked like LA had zero chance to just breathe the entire game. It was really impressive of a team that we were just completely unsure of at the start.
Were they?
Yeah,
Do you know if they were practicing a lot?
They
week
were
before?
they've been practicing a lot, like even before that. Like the
Okay.
second they decided they were going to be a team, they were practicing a good amount, and then they also used us putting them as at fifth in power rankings as
Yeah.
a little bit of a chip on their shoulder per se.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at it on paper, you're just like, oh, they have one guy that's 200 salary, and you got teams that have 3, and it just makes you think. So yeah, and someone's got to be in last.
Yeah,
One does have to be
they're definitely making the case for like the dark horse coming in.
Well, they're not the
rest
dark
of
horse
season.
anymore.
Exactly.
They were dark horse at the start of the season.
Yeah, when you win
At
the
the start,
first
at the
game
start.
of the week, you're not the dark horse anymore.
They're making it for the start, but they're
Yeah.
showing they're going to be a pretty prominent team with the amount of practice they've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see a little bit of the crazy Sombra on that team. It was going very well. Also like the coordination of ults I was seeing, it looked really solid too.
The one that and I told them this directly after. that impressed me the most, and I'll make a clip of it later, so I can post it. There was, and I because I watched it unfold. The Sombra hacked the Bastion ult target. Like it was completely coordinated. Like he hacked the target, and then all the barrages went down. I think it was on a soldier. So like literally, the soldier could not get away. But the fact that they
Yeah.
waited to plan the hack and then get the Bastion ult, it's like truly you don't see that in Ruby. Like even from Houston, we would not be that coordinated. I can promise you that. Like so the fact that I saw that just blew my mind. Like I think they're going to be really scary, and especially if they keep practicing, like the sky's the limit for that team. Truly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
All right, and we want to move on to the power rankings for Emerald.
I believe so.
All right, do you want to
I
start from the top or the bottom?
think we start from the bottom because we start from the top, and that just kind of feels awkward. Um,
Yeah.
so I think for me, fifth has to be LA. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be too mean to them because I think if their DPS kind of play the game more because they're both new, a lot of the holes will be patched from what I've seen. Um, and obviously it's not on them entirely because like when you have those newer players, you got to play around them more, and you gotta like not expect too much if that makes sense. Like I think some of the supports and tanks were kind of moving around without really guiding their DPS and helping them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's like once they get that synergy down and like DPS play a little bit more, I think they'll be completely fine. Like mechanically, they weren't terrible, so
Mm.
I don't think they're completely out yet. But I think you just, especially in the way that they lost, you got to put them fifth.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
um, obviously the teams that didn't get a single map obviously get moved down, but I personally am putting my team fifth because you know we just haven't played yet, and
That's fair.
I feel like I mean, I'm not saying we are the worst team, but I'm just saying that we may be a little bit behind compared to the other teams that have played. So I'm not saying they are the worst, but as of right now, you know, um, so I'm just putting them there now, just because we haven't played yet, and we get to see other teams play and um, how they match against the other teams. Um,
You you are making that tough case for me because I
Just
actually
must be a
don't
tiebreaker.
yeah, you are the tiebreaker.
I don't know too well everyone on the teams. I know Violet and Crystal as like a people who've been like tried and true support players from the previous seasons. So I know they got like the even like the league veteran kind of synergy that they can rock with once they get like their whole team kind of synergy figured out. But I think I am going to put just for now Los Angeles at the in the fifth. Uh, I haven't gotten to see Chicago play this season yet, and it could change next week immediately after seeing the results. But I am curious to see how they fare against uh, their week two opponents. But I the results from that war game were pretty stagnant, so I'm gonna have to give it just for now. I think they got a lot of potential though, and they can turn it around really quick once they get it figured out.
Yeah, I think like you can't. It's just hard to kind of gauge where Chicago's in the first place. So it's like you're
Mm-hmm.
pretty much going on. Hey, I've seen a really bad game or a bad game from someone compared to nothing, which is like, okay, how are you even going to rate that? So it's a weird one. I think next
Yeah.
week we'll really have a good picture, especially a little bit preview of what we'll talk about later with like the two 0-1 teams playing against each other. So I think that'll be a nice like who's who.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think we can all agree that Chicago would be fourth
Yeah.
because
Well, I put them
obviously they
fifth,
just
so
haven't played.
obviously
Well,
I
yeah,
have to choose them now.
because you were between LA anyway, so
Yeah, I have to
Yeah,
agree.
I mean
We haven't seen
yeah,
them yet.
the preseason we were third, and I think LA was fourth. So I guess
Yeah,
it's just like a switch. I mean, yeah,
I
obviously,
think it's more just like the way I see it is just Washington moving up.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, because like they showed well. It's not really that like you guys showed bad
Mm-hmm.
personally.
And seeing how War played will, it'll be a good, test for my team or Chicago to see how we really are amongst the league. Because like, obviously, seeing how the games were played, Washington and Dallas are probably the top team, are obviously the top teams right now. And
I
if,
was about to actually pose the question because we did put
yeah,
KCC first,
well,
or are we
yeah, I
just gonna
know.
move
I'm
over
just saying
it?
based off of the games that
Yeah.
were played, um, because they both 3-0'd. I mean, we don't know if Washington or how Washington and Kansas City are placed, but still, it'll still be a good test for my team to see.
Yeah.
And I think fourth is a good spot for right
So who do
now.
you want third? Because like I think I
This
want
this is
KCC.
interesting.
Just but like because again on paper they're really good, but like and especially with them getting Otto,
Yeah,
um,
I
part
think
of the
I think I'm putting War third,
you're putting War third.
just because you can't really like. I mean, I guess you could because it's preseason, but bumping them from fifth to second.
I think I put them second personally because
Okay.
like at least from watching the game like and I know I'm a little biased being a War person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, their coordination was unbelievable, and the fact like that can just win you Emerald, I would say,
That is
in
true.
all honesty. So it's like the
Yeah,
fact that they had that so down, and they're also like grinding and really wanting to play the game. For me, it's hard to bet against them in terms of like against a team who got 3-0'd and it like was doom posting and it wasn't really close. Like
mm-hmm.
that's the part for me that KCC worries me. It's like they got killed. So it's
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
that either means Dallas is going to be completely uncontested, or that KCC wasn't as good as we initially thought they were. And I think that's like with the I think it's not necessarily like on paper issues for KCC. I think it's just the coordination and them not being a team together, and that's why like Dallas and Washington both played really well because they already had pre-built synergy.
Yeah.
So like, that's why
mm-hmm.
I kind of put them above there. But
I
again,
could
Andrew,
put
you
them.
have to be
I
the
could put them second,
oh you're gonna
and
put them
and
second too.
we
Okay.
could. I mean, I would still
Well,
put
I'm
them
gonna.
third just because. But are we counting the transaction changes?
We can count the transaction changes, and then
Okay, then
I
I'll
didn't
just.
see this, but what was the change?
so Solist was dropped and Otto was moved to
It's the
Flex,
main roster.
and Deathman was moved from Flex or tank support to just tank, I believe.
Wasn't
Okay.
wasn't Auto, Deathman, and Chunky
Chuck,
Monkey all on MCV, or was
they
just two of
all were
them?
on MCV, but the
Yeah.
thing that I would give a little caution with that is Deathman was the support, I believe,
Yeah, they're just all different roles.
and yeah, Deathman was the support. Chunky Monkey was the
Tank.
tank, and
The monkey
Otto
man.
was a DPS, which I believe he still should be playing, but
He's flex, right? Or yeah, but wasn't.
I
So who's
believe
going
he's
to be
flex.
tank then for them?
I mean, it's Deathman because
It
he's
has to
going
be
normal
Deathman.
tank.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, for me, for third, the decision between fourth and fifth was already hard, but this one is really tough because KCC on paper they are a stronger team, right? Just salary wise, they have like a really strong uh, supports and DPS, I think. Uh, but currently, what War was like really coordinated with that game against Los Angeles, and the only thing that Kansas is lacking is just the same coordination. Once they get that coordination, they should definitely be on top of, in my opinion. But for the moment, I'm gonna have to give Kansas City the third place because the just the coordination from Washington was just amazing in that series.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, and I think we all were leaving it up, and but Dallas is
Yeah.
definitely number one. Like,
Yeah.
I
especially
do feel
for
bad.
being definitely being two, like PR to rank two, killing the team in one. Like, you can't put them down. Like, It's
I
def
definitely don't want to hard bias myself being on the team that would be number one, but
Well, I think we all agree
on
anyway.
just on just the power ranking stats, we compare to number two and one, we beat number one, so it does make
Yeah,
sense. We would take the spot for now.
yeah, I agree.
yeah.
All right, and
Um,
then is that it for Emerald? Are we moving on? Oh no, we're talking about next week's
talking about
games.
matchup. Yeah, talking about matchups. I think both all the games are just kind of still feeling out who's who in
Mm-hmm.
Emerald. Like
Mm.
I think the one like the War Chicago one is still both. It's like, hey, is War legit?
Yeah,
Is that
I'm
they able
really
to keep it
excited
up?
for that.
Yeah,
I think
and like what
honestly,
Chicago was like.
yeah, we don't know what my team. I don't even know what my team's like, to be honest with you. But
No, no.
I I hope it's gonna go to like 5 maps, honestly, because
I hope.
like we have. I mean, technically we are higher ranked than War, um, but we don't quite have the synergy yet. So it'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see this. So if y'all can like figure out your synergy enough on paper, you should beat them. But they
Mm-hmm.
have been practicing a lot and have gotten their coordination down, so this
Yeah,
will be really interesting.
it'll be a tough match, and if I'm playing, hopefully, um, it'll be a fun series for sure.
And
Hmm.
then the other game, like KCC, I think is definitely one you favor KCC, but still kind of like that. Hey, what's going on with them? How are they handling stuff? And also with LA, it's like, can they bounce back? Can they fix some of the issues? Can they get better coordination? Like, you just don't know for both of these teams. Like, they both of them didn't win a map, so
Hmm. Yeah, from this just the games from the first week, it will be hard to tell. But I'm gonna give a little bit ahead to Kansas City. I think they're gonna have like a really strong core with their players. Uh, and I believe they might just kind of push over the edge in just like initial fights.
oh yeah, I would definitely favor Kansas City. Don't get me wrong.
I think if
But
if LA practices a bit more and works together, I think I could see them coming out on top. But we'll see.
Oh, I can see both. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
would just for me, it's like
yeah,
probably 65, 35 for KCC.
Okay.
I'll have to see who's like who's more coordinated with their attacks. That'll really be a decider. You can like
Yeah.
get those first picks to kind of steamroll the rest of the fight.
Also, if they are the like bottom two teams throughout the whole season, that'll be a really good decider that match.
That's
Um,
it. This could be the match just getting
yeah, if
playoffs.
because like only one team doesn't make playoffs, so if they're both bottom all the way, then that game will be a decider. So it kind of is important for both those teams,
Mm-hmm.
especially both being 0-1. All right, and
But on that note,
then
yeah.
yeah, we're moving on to Ruby, the Ruby League. Guess we'll go with the first match in the schedule, which was Houston versus Pitt, and that was a 3-1 going in favor of Houston. Our good friend Lank is on that team and played, so I think you want to kick it over to you and discuss that.
Yeah, it was a fun one. We were playing some funny comps. Playing a lot of Lucio, Lifeweaver, Ryan
Mm-hmm.
for Ryan shenanigans flying through the air. We kind of trolled the first match. Like, I think we still took a point. Um, but yeah, the way that we were playing the comps in the first one, we really didn't actually have a chance of winning against Pittsburgh. Shut up, Ricochet. Uh, and then Ricochet and I on DPS, we are both support players. So it was a little bit of an interesting experiment, but we focused up for Kings Row because we got annoyed that they saw us playing troll comps and then they played the most cringe comp imaginable.
Yeah.
So we kind of tried in Kings Row. Still playing some funny stuff. Um And then we just kind of felt confident after that. Like Sirivasa was pretty easy. We were rotating better, and like John Pork is just a menace. Um, and then in also the Shambali game, like we controlled it the entire way. And we honestly should have full held first point, but we didn't. Um, but we just kind of
Oh
felt
yeah.
comfortable that entire one. Like I think we
You
literally
pushed it.
lost because of a Doom. Like Minky
You
popped off on Doom. And, like
that,
they actually won it.
that hold from Minky was insane on that
Oh,
first point.
Mickey's a
He like
goat.
clutched that like crazy.
Yeah, Mickey's the goat. Don't get me wrong, but we definitely should have just full held it. Um, but yeah, it was we were comfortable, we were confident, and like we thought that that was one of our toughest opponents. So we're overall really happy with it.
Nice. And then moving on to the Montreal versus Philly game. It was a 3-0 in favor of Philly. Um, what do we think about that? I personally did not watch it, so I don't know. Was it like a really big stomp, kind of like the
It was a pretty big stomp.
Washington versus LA?
Yeah, it was a pretty big stomp.
Mm-hmm.
Montreal just they didn't feel like they had the firepower at all to really contest with it. Um, they felt very underwhelming. Like, and it's the fact that they didn't use all their salary. They have a lot of console players, and it just feels like a really bad mix, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I do think they will not win a game this season, and possibly a map. I know that's kind of a hot take,
Dang.
but I think they truly are the like Montreal is the Shanghai Dragons of United Rogue, and I will stand by that. So,
Oh my.
Could you
um,
explain that? Because I do not know what that means.
okay, so in the Overwatch League, the Shanghai Dragons famously in
Mm-hmm.
the first season went oh or I think they lost 43 straight games
Oh my gosh.
before they won one. Um, it might have been more, I forget. But yeah, they were horrendous, unfortunately.
Surely they wouldn't be that bad.
Um, yeah, I think they actually broke a record for the most consecutive losses in like anything. Um, so
I
the
I
fact
don't
that
believe they'll make it to that kind of
I don't
record.
I don't think it'd be that bad. I truly don't think it'd be that bad because obviously we won't play that many games. But like they didn't win a game in season one, or well, no, they didn't even get a team in season one. They fell
They
apart
did at
before they
first,
were.
and then they lost it.
Oh,
Yeah,
uh,
they never had a full roster,
Yeah.
and then um they didn't win a game in Emerald last season, and now they're in Ruby. I unfortunately still don't think they'll win a game. But yeah, they won maps here and there, obviously, but I don't think they'll win. I'm not sure they'll win a map, depending. We will see.
I believe in them.
Um,
I
I
think
do
very,
not have
very
any faith.
strong takes. Very, very strong take.
Very strong take, and I love the people in Montreal. Don't get me wrong. And I'm hoping this will do the same effect for that Washington had. But the really like strong point I saw was Moto. Actually, surprisingly enough, I think is their lowest salary. He was doing solid. Um,
Mhm.
I can't complain about too much or too much, but honestly, like she doesn't play very impactful supports, so it felt like it was all left up to Moto to carry, and it just it wasn't enough. Like especially into a team like Philly that's really well rounded and really complete. Like and who was also playing just kill supports because Foliage, the DPS player, wanted to just play DPS supports. um, so yeah, it just felt like a really big mismatch, and the fact that I also don't think Montreal is that strong. Just it was an unfortunate game to watch, and I do be hating, but prove me wrong, and then I'll stop hating on you.
Wow.
Did either of you guys actually watch it, or
I did
no.
not watch it.
oh yeah, you weren't available that night. I remember.
Yeah, I was actually doing my own thing in a college. Smash Brothers tournament. I
Oh,
made
okay.
fifth EP, but I was a little occupied with that. But
Yeah.
yeah, sounds like a pretty stagnant match.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Um,
Damn.
but I think that we just go to power rankings now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Starting from the bottom, so are you putting Montreal there over?
I think Montreal has to be last.
I'm putting MCV at the bottom. I don't care.
You're just a hater.
I'm just a hater.
I'm gonna have no comment for me because I did not watch enough.
Well,
if you go to the MCV roster, they made some good pickups, and while I still think they're fourth, I think their team is solid enough to be fourth and be better than Montreal. Like I don't think they kind of reach into that top three echelon with Houston, Montreal, or Houston, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
But like we didn't know that they were gonna get a Grandmaster, or we knew they were gonna get Grandmaster DPS, but they also got a Masters tank. They got Boy Wonder as DPS, who's a solid DPS player. They have Zerlin, who's on my team as a support. He's a very solid support player as well. So it's like, I don't think they're that top tier in the league, but I do think they're solid comparatively to the Montreal roster. And I will say, I forgot to mention Walrus. Walrus was playing very, very well. I do want to shout them out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna override Shiro because he just hates
fine.
play.
I'm just a hater.
Your opinion is now invalid.
Well,
I told you, I'm going for Montreal all the way.
He didn't watch the game, so
Montreal
I'm gonna
number
say
one
as the
fan.
person who watched the game, let's say we're gonna do that. And then for third, I personally will put Pittsburgh here, and I think this can fluctuate, but just going off the fact that they lost and Philly won pretty dominantly, I don't think it would be fair to Philly, who also looked better than I thought they would, to kind of put them below. That's just my personal opinion. What about you guys?
Well, Pitt did get a map, so it just makes sense. And I mean, Philly did 3-0, so who do we put in the preseason? Was Philly second? Or was Pitt
Pittsburgh
second?
second. Pittsburgh
Okay.
was second. I think for me, if they 3-2'd us and it didn't feel as comfortable as it did, I would have probably kept Pittsburgh
Mm-hmm.
too. But like, honestly, we weren't really stressing that much overall. Like towards the latter half of that series. I mean, noted by us literally failing the Shambali Reinhardt bit 3 times. But we still
I love seeing that.
Like,
I love seeing that in 4K.
so
Make
I
sure
do
the stream
think
go to see it.
like that. I think Pittsburgh's got to be 3. Obviously, it can change, and I think like for me, Ruby, the top 3 kind of can really like move up and down and kind of figure each other out. Like, so I think it'll be very fluid throughout the entire season. But I think for now, I'd put Pittsburgh 3.
I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the only one I got to see, and they did look really solid near the end. But y'all definitely looked very comfortable when facing them throughout the whole series.
So and then I would say Philly 2, and then Houston 1, just because we did win.
That's kind of biased.
It is biased, but John Pork is a player, and it's nice to be in the backpack of John Pork, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah, and you guys, we ranked you first anyway in the
Yeah.
preseason, so it just makes sense since you guys 3-1.
And it's also just the fact that like I don't think Montreal's that strong. So like I think the game against Philly is gonna be a really fun one and a really interesting one.
Oh, we didn't even talk about next week.
Well, we talk about that.
Oh, we do it after the
Yes.
power rankings.
Yeah.
I'm a bad host. I don't know.
You are a bad host.
Yeah, that's just obvious.
Yeah. So I think that we can just talk about them because I don't think either of you guys have any qualms about Houston first, Philly second.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I'm just for now. I'm just gonna say Phillies first because I have no idea, and just to mess with you. That's the end of my analysis. But John Pork,
Unfortunately, you're still all right.
darn.
But I appreciate, and you get to gloat, and I will bring you in personally next week if they beat
Oh
us.
no.
Just to say I told you so and leave. You don't have to say anything else. You can just say that.
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
but
If
that
they
being
don't win, then I'm free. I don't have to be.
you're free. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so that being said, I do think the Houston Philadelphia match obviously is the match of the week in my opinion.
It might be
Um,
match of the or the entire season.
I mean, yeah.
yeah.
I,
So many.
I
good
was talking for
players.
both leagues, personally.
Yeah.
I think it's the one that'll be the most volatile, and I think also will be really helpful because this will I won't say solidify, but like solidify not having to face either Pittsburgh or Philly, at least in my side.
Yeah.
Like
The later half, yeah.
so, like if Philly is able to win, then
You didn't make the
they'll be
schedule, right?
no Bowser did.
Hmm.
Do you think I'd want to play the best two teams first?
Yeah, get it over with.
No, I would not.
You got VOD review, and then you just go against the quote unquote lesser teams.
Do you think we're in the VOD review?
I would do that.
No.
I mean, I know you guys are a troll team, so obviously.
I was about to say you were watching the games, man.
So
I
they
did
were a lot of trolls. For like half of them going up the offense of Shambali was me just staring at them in the life weaver with John Ford attempted to get up there for like three times in a row.
It was three times, and then we hit it. So,
And then they got the shatter, and no one got hit by the shatter immediately. The shenanigans.
it was worth it.
Mhm.
It was worth it. We the casters and me were laughing like crazy at the end of it all.
So, I do think that'll be an interesting one. I think it'll be a 5-game series. I'm interested to see the maps because that also could really determine it because I like our both teams' play styles will be very determinant off that. But then I think the Pittsburgh Mexico City game is also very very intriguing.
Yeah.
Because we get to see MCV for the first time. And then we get to see like I won't say Pittsburgh's frauds, but like we rank them high and we think they're a really good team. Like I think they're like to me, Ruby seems like a kind of like duos, kind of like okay, these are the guys you really look out for.
Mhm.
Like Adbon and Minky to me are like the two really big carries on that team. So it's like while they played really, really well against us, and they're not fun to play. Well, they're fun to play against, but they're not fun to play against at the same time. If that makes sense. I want to see them kind of keep it going and kind of carry it through Mexico City. Like I think they can, but obviously you kind of need to see that. And if they go down to Mexico City, then it gets a little hairy. And I still think they're better than Montreal, but like, hey, you play bad or your scheduling is weird, so you can't play your full roster and you need to get a sub, and like so many things can happen that like it's a slippery slope sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And yeah, I was looking at the roster, and on paper, it looks like a pretty even matchup. But I mean, you can't go wrong with Pittsburgh, the team that won last season. Go Pitt. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the role professional MCV hater
I didn't say anything about MCV. I said go Pitt for Bowser.
We know what you were doing. No,
I-
no, it was not Bowser.
Hey, hey,
But
man. All right. Well, is that it for Ruby?
I think it's it for Ruby.
Moving on to the wheel. Next week week two's maps. I can pull that up real quick. Very scuffed stream.
Are we doing Flashpoint
There
first?
is no. Are we doing Flashpoint first? Oh yeah, let's do Flashpoint first. What is it? New King Street.
No,
New
no, it's
junk-
There's a very
New junk
hard decision
Junk
between them.
City.
No, new junk. Wait, what is it?
New Junk City. New Junk City.
New Junk City. Jesus Christ.
I'm very curious which one gets picked here.
Yeah.
I know, right?
It's all in blue too.
What else should let us do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Do
gonna
you
do
guys
the
want to
third,
see
the
in
third
my?
game
in
one
the-
first.
I still have it streaming. Let's
Yes.
see if I can. Oh, there is sound this time. There is sound this time.
Hell yeah.
All right. So that is
One.
our first map, New Junk City for.
Game 3s.
Yeah, it's the third map, not the first one, but you know
It
what
is
I
the
mean.
third map.
Honestly, I was
Um,
surprised at this choice. Wasn't expecting it, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And then the next, or the first map, is Control.
Yes. I'm
Yes.
hoping for a Samoa. I want.
Oh, that's
And
in
we
and out.
removed Oasis
Yeah.
because it was week 1
We
map.
just played on it.
In case someone was like, "Where's Oasis?" You know why.
Yes. So we can't play on the same map twice. So Flashpoint, unfortunately, is just gonna bounce back and forth.
Yep. And we get Ilios, which was the fifth map. Oh, yeah, Ilios. It was almost Legion Tower
As the
by a
mean
hair.
team, as the mean team, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I like Ilios.
We have the Reddit Lucio on our team. So
What's the
It'll be
next
fun.
one? Escort or hybrid?
hybrid.
Hybrid. Okay.
The only thing I don't like about Ilios is the big well. Don't love that.
I mean, you're able to play Hog on it. Oh wait, no, you're
I-
not
I
even
am.
playing this week. So you're not.
Oh,
worried
wait, I'm
about
not. Hey, I don't have to worry about it.
it. Yeah, you just get to watch.
And-
My 67% liking of it.
We
Don't gotta
could
worry.
do a Hog Life Weaver. Thank you for the idea.
Oh my gosh.
Hog Suicide in Pit and then Life Weaver
All right, we ready?
pulls him out. Yep.
Now we got hybrid, which is Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Mm.
I also can see some range, especially with the high ground. I'm just looking at this angle, but I think Hollywood would be a very interesting map for a lot of the games because of second point. With the high ground, like who's able to actually play off that and who's able to like really abuse their position to take it. It'll be really interesting to see kind of coordination wise who's able to do it.
Okay, and then we did map 3 already, and then now we got Escort as the fourth map. Any favorites so far?
I hate all of these maps.
Oh my.
No, I'm kidding. There's like a few where I really don't want it, but other than that.
And we get
What?
Route
Route 66.
66, your favorite, Link.
It's one of my. It's okay. It's not one of my favorites, but I don't think it's bad. I'm just happy it's not Paradiso. Paradiso is not a good map.
And apparently everyone got an ad, so I don't think anyone's watching us.
I don't care.
This is why you subscribe.
I was about to say they should have subscribed.
Yeah.
Crystal saying, thank God. Okay, no Gibraltar. Aren't you supposed to be doing homework?
Dang. Called out.
Yes.
And then now we do the fifth map for Control, and then we'll take off Ilios, unless we want to do it a second time. That would be
No.
fun. Okay. And fifth map will be, looks like Antarctica.
Antarctic. Well, that's 6 map.
Interesting.
Fifth
That's
map.
6 map. 6.
Yeah, that's for a tiebreaker, right?
Yeah, that's tiebreaker.
Yeah.
What's fifth map?
Push match.
Push.
Oh, we didn't even do push.
Yeah, I was
Once-
confused. I'm like, why are you not?
Hey,
You
know-
know, I was like, wait, dude, did we remove push?
This
Hey,
is
everyone's
scuffed.
happy.
This is scuffed.
Yeah, I was really
Push is forever
confused.
gone.
All right, we did
Yeah,
we did sixth map. We did sixth map.
5th map. No, this is 5th map. No.
Nothing like another Sharo L.
So push map is 5th map.
Yep,
Yes, push is
and
fifth.
there's only 2 choices.
Alright.
I can't say this map.
Esperanza.
Esperanza or Calicio.
Esperanza.
Coliseo.
See, I
Coliseum.
don't know. I'm just gonna spin it.
to Esperanza. I just
Oh, they
do
got
whatever
it.
the
It's
voice says,
Esperanza.
and I-
That was good. That was good. Esperanza is I think, the best push map,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, call it
Also-
Sayo, just that long sight can just get really annoying sometimes with sniper people. If you're not
I might want to apologize to Philly, but at least personally, it feels like a lot of these maps have some Life Weaver shenanigans we can pull off, so
no, you're warning them this time.
I am warning them. Well, we might do other stuff. We might get bored of the Life Weaver
A
shenanigans.
fake
but...
warning, even more.
Well, we could do different Life Weaver shenanigans. There was other things
All right.
that we were testing out.
So the overall maps, map 1 is going to be Ilios. Map 2 is going to be Hollywood, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then 3 is New Junk City.
New Chunk City. A very surprising
And
pick
then-
once again.
4th
Yes.
is Route 66. And then 5th map is Esperanza. With the
And then
6th
with
map,
the tie,
the
it's
tiebreaker
Antarctica.
is Antarctica. Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
So now it's time for the last segment and the super special one.
Oh yeah.
Shiro's Player of the Week.
Yay. Take
Shiro,
it away,
do you
Link.
remember- Okay, yeah, I was about to say. Player of the Week is going to be Apache from Washington. Specifically because we have seen Emerald Sombra work. Throughout the first 2 seasons, we have not seen it work, and it was actively a throw pick. I'm speaking of Icy specifically. Dallas did it a few times.
Hey, if we just didn't have the better
Montreal-
version.
I remember Montreal doing it too. And I'm definitely missing teams. But it was horrendous always. And I implored people not to play it. No one listened. But Apache came in and learned. He must have been just playing that or something because he looked really good. He was using the movement really, really well. He's using the new like the cube throw really, really well. And his timing on the flanks. And I know he actually tilted Violet in the match to the point where she was typing. So the fact that you're able to do that is just telling to how good of a song player he was, and also how the team was kind of working around it. So it's my player of the week. Well, Shiro's player of the week. Sorry, no one take
Yeah,
your
what the heck,
award.
man?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So it's Shiro's player of the week, but you chose for him.
Yes.
Hey,
There's only Shiro's player of the week by name. No
Well,
say for Shiro.
He chose.
I did not. Oh yeah, I kind of did, but I just said it as a
Just-
joke, and then you're like, "Yeah, let's do it," and I'm just like, "Oh shit, you actually took my bluff."
But that will be it. Andrew, any final thoughts?
No, you didn't do the Ruby one.
No, it's only for one. It's
Oh.
for both leagues.
What
dang.
the? Okay,
Yeah.
Very exclusive.
very exclusive. Okay,
That's Shiro's player of the week for you.
I don't even know my own segment.
We have 10 teams. We're not like this is we're not giving out participation trophies at that point. You gotta earn it.
All right. Yeah. Any last words, Andrew?
Well, I had a good time for the first week. I'm hoping to repeat. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the season, but we're pretty happy.
Yeah, we wish you the best of luck. Oh yeah, it definitely is also because there's new Ruby's Players Union. That's also why they didn't get picked.
Oh, they got a Ruby union. Oh, we got
No, they
deny
did.
that as
They
a
haven't.
Ruby.
No, they don't have any union. We're completely union busting that. Shara, final
good.
thoughts.
Go Montreal.
Okay, very, very proud. That being said, thank you all for watching. We're gonna try and have streams for each game this week. It will be hard because I will be gone this entire weekend, so it might be hard. We will
Yo,
need other
same.
people to step up. Oh God. So we need volunteers. Chocoman is not Ruby Player of the Week. Don't you try. So we need volunteers for streamers. Really appreciate it if you can. We always need more of them. It's very simple. It's literally just the F keys, and as long as you're on someone who's alive, you're doing a good job.
I
I'll
didn't
work
do
with
that.
you. Don't worry.
Yeah. So we are in desperate need of them this week. But that being said, thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful night.
See you.
Bye bye.